This is Jamie TKV. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Okay, so Filip Hrgovic versus Demsey McKean. This was for the IBF mandatory position to take on the winner of Alexander Usyk versus Daniel Dubois. Now, this was a 12-round fight, and it was a very, very interesting fight. Both of these guys are big punchers. Both haven't fought in quite some time, so there's going to be a bit of ring rust for sure. Now, I felt that Filip Hrgovic started off this fight quite well, and Demsey McKean was struggling to find his range a little bit. But again, this is down to experience. You have to remember Demsey McKean has zero amateur experience and only started boxing, 8 years ago? And to be on this stage and to go as far into this fight as he did, 12 rounds, is pretty good. Pretty good. And he has a lot to be proud of, that is for sure. And hopefully he is proud. Hopefully he will be. He's going to be upset for a while. But Filip Hrgovic stops Demsey McKean in the final round, about a minute into the final round. He catches him with a big shot. Demsey McKean's trying to hang on. And the referee gives Demsey McKean a standing 8 count, where Demsey McKean isn't standing. He's trying to walk across the ring, and his legs are pretty much gone. And the referee stops by the time he counts to like 2 or 3. But really, by the time that Demsey McKean started walking normally, the referee could have counted to like 8 and let the fight continue, really, because it was the final round. Because he did recover pretty quickly. He had a momentary wobble, and that was pretty much it. So I think the referee stopped it a little early, but at the same time, there was enough time there for Filip Hrgovic to potentially get him out of there, because he was quite clearly buzzed, quite clearly hurt. But there again, in round number 9, Demsey McKean it looked like he was pretty much out of there as well, where he had to hang on for dear life for like the last minute and a half or so of that fight. I thought that Filip Hrgovic was about to stop Demsey McKean. But Demsey McKean, he'd done very well though. You know, he came back out in round number 10 and looked strong. Round number 11, he dominated. Round number 11, Filip Hrgovic looked absolutely spent. He looked knackered. He did, but this is heavyweight boxing, and one punch can and does change everything. It is what it is. But up to that point anyway, I feel that Filip Hrgovic, he was winning the fight. But as I said before, there's a lot to be proud of with Demsey McKean. He was doing well, you know, big body shots. So he's a big body puncher, which for somebody who is, 6'7", 6'8", and a southpaw as well, to land those body shots is pretty good going, when obviously this is Demsey McKean's big moment, okay? He hasn't had a big fight like this before. Filip Hrgovic, he's had a couple of these fights. His last one against DAZN. So he's had that acid test. Demsey McKean hasn't had that. So there's probably like a lot to play. Maybe that's why Demsey McKean started off a little bit slow, because obviously not only just been out of the ring for quite some time, but the fact that he hasn't been in front of this kind of stage before. This was his moment. You know, you win this fight, life-changing, life-changing. There's a lot of pressure on him. There is. But he done very, very well. Done very, very well. So the Tower needs to be proud of himself, and I'm sure his countrymen and women that are, along with his family. But he did have some big moments in that fight. He did. And quite clearly he's durable, quite clearly very, very tough, as a lot of these Aussies are. You know, these Aussies are born with something in them that just makes them full heart, you know, it really does. But either way, Filip Hrgovic, he gets the stoppage win. Is it debatable that the referee stopped it? Arguably yes, arguably no. But in this kind of day and age, this era, referees will stop anything, because the last thing in the world the British Box Board of Control want is something quite severe. So they are a little premature to stop. But at the same time, he was wobbling. He was stumbling away from the referee. The referee stopped the fight. But as I said, had he just carried on counting, his legs were okay. He recovered to a point. But anyway, listen, that's going to be an arguable point. It really is. A lot of you, but probably most of you, will probably agree with the stoppage. But it is the final round. So anyway, what can you do? What can you do? Congratulations to Filip Hrgovic, El Animal. He moves on. And as I spoke to Kalle Sauerland a few weeks back there, he says Filip Hrgovic will not step aside to allow Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. He ain't going to do it. So looks like we could be getting Filip Hrgovic versus the winner of Usyk and Dubois. Let's see how that fight goes. Drop your thoughts below. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.